up guys, Caleb here, and today I'm going to tell you guys all about how I built this shelf for my LEGO collection using only a couple pieces of wood. Basically, I needed more places to store LEGO in my room, so we decided to build a shelf in this little corner here, and the first thing we did was actually go to Lowe's to get the wood, where we actually saw a forklift just sort of casually driving around there. But we took a couple pieces of pretty flat wood, put them in our cart, and drove them home, and basically the first step we did was actually sawing out some of the sort of holes. Basically, since these pieces of wood sort of fit together like a puzzle piece, we had to, make some cuts along the edge of it, and then we had to chisel basically the little bits out so we would actually have holes there. Actually, before the chiseling part, we had to, use a saw because the blade was circular. There was a little bit that was like a little bit further out. It's a little bit hard to explain, but we had to saw, the remaining bits of this, and then we chiseled the holes out. My little cousin Steven helped me with this, so thanks to him. And after the chiseling and sawing was done, we dry fitted it to make sure it would, fit, and it was looking absolutely amazing. Next up was actually sanding down all of the boards before we put the glue on, because obviously, if you don't sand it, you're gonna get splinters and stuff, and it's gonna be sharp. It's just gonna be no good. So we had to sand down all of the boards, and that did take a little bit of time, but it was a pretty fun thing to do. The next day we had to run to the store to get wood glue, as we forgot that, and then we basically applied that. So wood glue is actually the only thing that is holding this in place. It's pretty strong stuff. The final step after the wood glue dried was actually to paint this thing. I used a can of black spray paint, as I really do like the look of, an all black shelf, especially with my other shelves. I did end up doing 2 layers of spray paint, as obviously if you just do one, it's gonna look patchy and pretty bad. So I only got the first layer here on camera, but I went back and did the second layer just to make sure the entire thing, got a good even coat of paint on it. But this thing was looking really, really good, especially after I got the second coat of paint on it. Next up was actually getting this thing installed in my room. Basically, I had to move the other shelf with the Montrose stuff on it down, and basically I had to unscrew that because these shelves are screwed into the wall. That way they don't, tip over or something. I had to unscrew all of them first. Then I screwed all of my Legos and the Lego bins down and just sort of, put those bins back. And then next up was actually getting this thing screwed into the wall. I used, a couple bent brackets. We had to bend these brackets because we didn't really have the right things to fit it into the wall, but we made it work. I also have a couple really cool looking sort of old school Justice League posters that are like pretty hard. Like it's not, your normal poster material. So I ended up screwing those into the wall, and those look super cool on there too. I did end up trading a Spider-Man minifig for my brother with this really cool lamp. So now I have a second lamp there, which is really nice. And I basically started to just fill up the shelves with some of the, the extra Lego that I had. And what's really nice about this is, I had room to sort of spread things out a little bit more. So now things, there's a little bit more extra space, which is nice. And then the whole bottom part of the shelf, actually, I just filled in with some random stuff. So right now, it just, stores some minifig parts and stuff. Whenever I need more space for Lego, I just empty that out and put it somewhere else. But here's the actual completed shelf itself with all of my Lego on it, and it's sort of attached to the wall here. And I gotta say, it ended up being really, really cool, especially, when it's something that you actually made with your own hands. Just a really cool feeling. It ended up fitting really well between my Lego bins and my ukulele on top of some other Lego bins. Like, it just fits really well in the sort of corner of my room here, and I do just really, really like how it looks here. So we'll start off on the top left part of the shelf. We're in my Guardians of the Galaxy area, where basically we have the Guardian ship, which is an absolutely awesome set for display, and it fits pretty well in there. And then to the left of there, of course, we have Baby Groot and some of the minifigs from the Guardian ship. And one of my favorite real-life size Lego pieces to display, which is the cassette tape with the Awesome Mix. It's just such a cool little part to put, on the shelf there. And to the right of that, we have the set that started my entire YouTube channel, Steamboat Willie. It's just a great set, and it looks really, really cool. Like, it contrasts really well. And above that, we have the 2 really old school Justice League posters. Well, one's Justice League and one's Batman, but they look just super cool. I love to look at these, vintage superhero posters up on my shelf here. So as I mentioned before, I ended up hooking up one of my brother's, reading lights, which is the same one that I have over there. And this one, you just turn on and off, and it illuminates that spot of the shelf just really nicely. That takes us to probably my favorite, area of the display on the shelf right now, and that's the car shelf. I knew when I had all this extra space, I wanted to do a car shelf with all my Lego cars, except the Vespa, I guess. But all the cars just fit really nicely in here, and they all look really, really cool all together. I know they're different scales and stuff, but it just looks really cool, to get some variation in there. It's definitely just an area of the display that I'm really, really happy with. Like, it fits on this shelf just perfectly here. Below the car shelf, we have just a bit of a miscellaneous shelf where we have my Star Wars army as well as the Lego office set. I got all 30-something minifigs here on this nice black base, and then above that, we also have the Lego Star Wars video game, just a classic game for a good reason. I mean, it's an amazing game. And of course, we have some speeders and just some, Battle Pack mini builds to the right and the left of that, and then above that, we kind of have the TIE Fighter just posed there, and that looks really cool. To the left of that, we have the Lego office set, a fantastic idea set. It's just an amazing set for any office fan, and it looks really cool. It fits just perfectly along the edge of the shelf shelf too. Yeah, overall the office set and the Star Wars armor just look pretty good together actually. And then below that we have another miscellaneous shelf where we just have a couple, you know, extra Lego builds like my MOC and some brick heads and some brick separators. And then we also have a couple bins where I store, you know, just a bunch of extra minifig parts of me and my brothers. But what's really nice is I can take pretty much all the stuff in the bottom stuff here, you know, out and put it somewhere else because it's also small. So if I get a bigger set, I can put it down here and, you know, there's room. I can clear all that stuff out. But that is my new shelf in my room that I actually built. A big thank you to my dad and my little cousin Steven for just helping out with the project over the weekend. It was a really fun time and it overall just looks awesome here in my room. I filmed the majority of my videos to the left of there, so you guys will probably not see much of this shelf at all. You'll probably see in the background my live stream stuff, but that's about it. But yeah, it's just an awesome looking shelf. Thank you guys so much for watching the Seabreak Productions. Sign off for now. Make sure to like and subscribe if you like to stay up to date with my latest content here. Only about a fifth of the people that watch my videos are actually subscribed, so I really would appreciate, you know, any of the support that I can get here. But stay safe out there, guys, and peace!